Hi guys, in this exercise we are asking for these stereographic connections. So remember what we saw in class, right? In class we saw the real line, basically a part of it, just a segment, and then we saw the a circle on top of it. So remember how we built this one-to-one correspondence between the points on the circle and the real line. Remember that, you see, I'm going to point it out here, this point on the top N, say, is not included in the one-to-one correspondence. But it does not matter. It does not matter because what we are saying is that every point in the circle but this one is going to be in a one-to-one correspondence with points on the line. How do we build this one-to-one correspondence? Well, say that we're picking a point A on the real line. Then how can we find the unique point on the circle according to this technique? Well, what we do is we look at the line segment. It goes from A to N. N is the North Pole, like this point here on the top of the circle. And then this line segment is going to cut the circle into a point. Let's call that point, let's label that point capital A. So one can definitely think that, look, but isn't it true that this line cuts the circle in 2 points, A and N? Well, N is not going to be considered part of the one-to-one correspondence. N is fixed, N is not changing. N is there so that we can build this one-to-one correspondence. So say that, for instance, we have another point here. Let's call it the B. So how can we find a point on the circle that will be the projection of the point on the circle into B, the point on the real line? Well, what we do the same thing that we did before. We do the connection between, we take the connection between N and B. So basically what we're doing, we're taking the line segment that connects N and B. And this line segment is going to cut the circle into another point where we can call capital B. So, and how about now a point here, this point, let's say in the middle, how do we do it? Well, this is already there. This point is really the lower, right? We can use, let's see if we make it a bit bigger here. So this is capital C is like just 1 point, right? The line segment connecting N and C is going to be giving us the same point, right, on the real line. So they just intersect here, I mean, at this point. So now remember that when we talked about the stereographic projection, we said, well, basically what we do is we map every point but this one, the North Pole, this point N. We map every point but the point into the real line. And so now if you pick any point on the circle, you can find a point on the real line. How? Connecting N to the point on the circle through a line segment. And then you build this line segment and you make it as long as you can until you cross the real line. And then when it crosses the real line, you're going to find just 1 point. So this way of building this line segments is a way to create a one-to-one correspondence between the circle where we have removed 1 point from the circle, this point here, and the real line. The real line is the set of points here. I hope this helps, and if it doesn't, please feel free to ask me more questions. Take care.